homeless land. I always feel sorry. I actually know how bad it can be in terms of what if you're driven down into homeless land and you are a graduate of an Ivy League school or similar, and you're like, I don't know what to do. Like, it's almost like people get forced down. So you don't, it's a better bet is to live in a small community where everybody gets hired, you know. That's what I learned. This Saturday on Labor Day. Free library across the way. Interestingly, a crazy story about the free library. Back in 2018, I was staying at someone's house kind of for free. It's hard to explain. I had something really bad happen in 2011. Stuff just kept going on. I was sort of like kept employed in a job that was not supposed to be like, it was supposed to be on the side. It turned into like a major full-time thing. Dog walking. It's like someone's sick sadistic narrative. And anyway, all that came crashing to an end in 2017. And in 2018, I would stay at someone's house kind of behind the Franklin Institute, which is here. That's that planetarium place that you might see sometimes on Ancient Aliens or, you know, History Channel or whatever. And so anyway, I would, if there was someone out there trying to help me navigate the world, that person would say, okay, we need to go to the library. Oh, check out the top floor. Like, you can go to the 4th floor. And I didn't know that. I'd never been to the 4th floor. So I went up there, rode the elevator back down, and this is exactly where I was here at the Free Library, this old building. And when I like started to come out of the library, I started to feel a little bit like kind of dizzy. And I never get dizzy. Like, and my family doesn't, no one ever had like vertigo or anything like that. I had heard of it, but rarely, like once in my entire life have I heard. I think of like fear of heights and you're on a rooftop and you're like, oh, I'm losing my balance, you know. No. Started to get dizzy. Luckily, I didn't have too far to walk because I just basically needed to walk behind that building and down a couple blocks. And all along the way, all along like walking past the Franklin Institute and everything, I was like, whoa, I'm getting really dizzy and I'm not sure. I need to sit, you know, I knew I was close enough to the house, so I got back and laid down. Like, I kind of just sort of laid on the floor. And I didn't even think of vertigo. Like, I just knew, like, my brain was totally in shock because of like, this whole experience put someone in kind of a human trafficking mode, and you could never, like, totally prove it because it just looks like you're working or whatever, like you're walking dogs or what. It's hard to explain how bad this was, so I'm glad things are better now. But the room spun, and spun and spun. As, say, if you ever got a little bit tipsy off of wine, or maybe you had a night of drunkenness on your 21st birthday, which is common when I grew up. And I don't really drink, so it doesn't take much. And anyway, it's like being a million trillion times drunk. Spinning, it's like The Exorcist. We are so not kidding. We are so not kidding. I am so not kidding. I am, I'm partly on my left side, partly on my back. My eyes are shifting back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, this is crazy. Now, say there was someone sort of trying to help you, like, okay, just lay there and it'll wear off. And like, I kind of had the thought, like, it'll wear off. It's some weird dizzy spell. It'll wear off. And luckily, over 12 to 24 hours, it did. But we are so not kidding. Like, I crawled on the floor to the kitchen to try to get some, water or whatever. And no, thank you. I was so freaked out. We are talking, who's in the evil club? Not me. There are people who are in an evil club. I am so not kidding. I'm so not kidding. If people knew what I was experiencing, they would be floored. They would be like, what? We didn't know it was that bad. Like, people knew that something bad happened in 2011 because I called people a million times. I was on the phone nonstop. Like, I didn't know how to word it without sounding crazy because I was afraid that people would think I was crazy. I'm like, what would you do if this? What would you do? This is going on. I don't know how to explain it. Like, even if I were to go to, say, police, like, people think they're supposed to go to the police if something really bad happens and you have to fix it in a certain way. And in Philly, it's a liberal city, so not everybody loves going to the police because they want to figure out what causes the whole thing. Like, who's going to take the fall for a bunch of other idiots who are hiding behind the scenes and making other people do their dirty work, that kind of thing. So it's like, I called my mom a million times, my dad a million times. I called other people all over creation I reached out to people I hadn't talked to in years. Like, by any chance, do you know anything like might be going on these days? And like, somehow it blew up in my world. I didn't even know how to explain it. I was like so bewildered, overwhelmed, disoriented, if you will. I knew that if I tried to explain, it's like someone can come in and totally stir up the universe, and you could, like, there would be like 50 people on this corner, and this is typically a quiet corner. So wherever I went, there were 50 million people everywhere, all over the place. So we see red and red. That's a little thing, but a million, and I see another red car over here. I know a lot of people have red cars, but it gets into Beautiful Mind World, if you ever saw that movie. There's like 50 million layers of what this is. But I was so, blown out of the water. Anyway, and I just had to keep going. Like, someone kept feeding me dog walks, and I kept trying to find Jut, and that guy has a maroon or reddish hoodie on, the biker. So I looked for other jobs. I applied at like UPenn for regular staff jobs or what have you. And I had an interview for one, but I knew that it was hard to have an interview. It's hard as it is when you're normal. Imagine being like traumatized out the wazoo. ASS. I'm so not kidding. And anyway, I wound up sort of stuck and constantly running around doggo walking, and in a way, the universe or whoever evil person is at the helm started to make me reliant on the safety and security of the dog walking work that I got. Do you see what I mean? In a way, it's a way to traumatize and subjugate someone. You become secure. You start to trust that these people will keep showing up and will keep paying you for dog walks. There's nothing wrong with dog walking. It wasn't really my